Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be a 3 looks 1 palette using, where did I put him? Our Colourpop Disney Designer palette. I don't know if they actually stock this anymore, but it's just something I've had for ages and I haven't had time to actually do a 3 looks 1 palette on it. And I've decided I want to do a 3 looks 1 palette on a good few of my palettes because I do enjoy these videos and yeah, they're fun. It's nice to get a bit of use out of palettes that I'm not using maybe daily, or I might only use once in a blue moon, or I might grab a colour from it, but I want to actually create looks specifically with this palette. It's more on the neutral side than probably what I'm, where can I find you there? It's more neutral than I tend to go for myself. But there is a nice little bit of colour in it, so you've got some nice purpley cranberry colours down here. A little pop of pink is what I used on my lid. Nice matte. On the warmer side, I would have liked a slightly cooler matte just for my skin, but that's just for my skin tone. It's not that it needed it, it's just I needed it, you know what I mean? So that's why this is quite peachy, but that's using just the top 3 mattes there. These guys here. So yeah, they're really, really pretty. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've got 5 mattes, like true mattes. You've got 2 that are like a matte with a sparkle, so they're technically matte as well, because the sparkle just tends to go away, which is, so the top row is all matte. These 2 down here are the matte with sparkle. Some of them are shimmers, some of them are foils, like the silver, the strong gold, the Enchanted Rose down here. Some of them are foiled and some of them are just your standard shimmers, which is what I have on right now. So yeah, it's a beautiful palette. It's a really nice neutral palette. It'd be a nice one if I brought this away on holidays with me, just bring a cooler transition shade with me. So like maybe do a little 4 palette just of extra little bits I might need. But yeah, I think it's really nice palette, and I'm excited. I know kind of generally what colors I want to play with. So this was the first one. This is like a soft. I just wanted to play with that pink. See what it was like, because I hadn't actually used it yet. I do want to do something with the purples, because obviously they're the colors, the like stronger colors in the palette, and I'm probably going to do something with like the gold or the silver, because the silver is beautiful now. That is such a nice color. So yeah, let's get on with some swatches. I'm going to do a swatch of each color, and let's get on with it. So as usual, the swatch is going to be done on my arms, so you can see them. I'm going to just go row by row. I'll give you the names as I go, and we'll just see how we get on. It might end up all the way down my arm because we do have 15 shades to go through. So let's start. We're going to start with Chip, which is this kind of skin tone shade. This might not even show up on my skin because it's so close to my actual skin. But hopefully we get something. Can you guys see that? Oh, you can kind of see it. Yeah. It's a lovely colour. It's a lovely blending colour, you know, when you just want to soften out edges and stuff like that. The next shade is, what are you? Juju. I don't know the reference to that. And I do know a lot of Disney. So Chip is obviously the little teacup from the cutest little teacup in the entire world. From Beauty and the Beast. This one is like a soft pink, which I will be using in one of my looks. And yeah, it's a soft like rosy pink. Very nice. Not too bright, but it's a nice bit of pink. So you could use it as a pop or you could use it to blend. And that is matte as well. Next one is Grumpy, which I do have as my transition shade, my first shade that I used for this look. And what this reminds me of, actually, because you think like Grumpy, he wears red, you would probably do a red. It actually reminds me of his nose. You know, the dwarf's nose, it's that kind of colour. So yeah, very cute. I don't know how good these swatches are going to be. So yeah, that is that one. It's a nice peachy brown. Very pretty. Next up we have got Triton, which is a tan, like a golden brown. Tan colour. Now, I said that the top row was matte. I think that's a satin, because there is a little bit of a reflect off, and when I put on my eye there was a bit of a reflect. In the pan it looks matte, on my hand and my eyes it does look satin, so I'm not sure exactly what that shade. You'll have to decipher that yourself. The next shade is a Boo, which I use as my darkest shade for this look, and this is a gorgeous like terracotta brown. It's like an orangey brown. Beautiful. Now we're going to move on to some shimmers. One of my favourite shades in this palette, which I did put into my favourite shades in my palettes, which I will link down below, is Prince Charming. So this is like a white with a slight greeny gold duochrome to it. I'm not sure if the duochrome is going to show properly, but yeah, that's how that one looks. He's like really nice, and I love him as an inner corner highlight. You will see that a lot in this video. Not in this look, but in other looks that I do. because I do pull this palette out specifically for that colour because I think it's so pretty. Next is one that I have on my inner corner right now. This is Ray, and I did mention in the video who Ray was. Ray is the little firefly from Princess and the Frog and makes me cry every single time I watch that movie. Because he's the cutest little thing ever. He's right there. That is a very nice soft gold. So like a light paler gold compared to the other gold that's in this palette. So he's lovely. Next is what I have on my lid. This is Fairy Godmother. Kind of matches my top a little bit. That's why I wore this top. Now, what I have said in the video as well when I was using these is that I have been watching Bean a lot, and she uses like NYX glitter glue, glitter primer. I've got Too Faced glitter glue as well. I do have the NYX one as well. With any of her shimmers, and I've started to do that, and I kind of like it. So what I tend to do, and you'll see me do it in the video, is I'll pop this on. I didn't use a glitter glue for these because I wanted to show you like how they actually apply just over a normal primer. So I pop it on with a brush, and it's gorgeous. It works perfect, but it's still not strong enough for me, so I went over with my finger in the video. Now, if I was using these any which way, not in a kind of show off kind of way to show you the palette, I would use a glitter primer. That's me. So it's up to you. You can do whatever way you want. The glitter primer will just intensify the shimmer. The next shade is One Kiss, which I again am assuming is from Prince and the Frog, I think. It's the gorgeous foil gold shade. It's a beautiful gold. So pretty. I'm looking down here because I've got a mirror angled at my arm. This is the way I do this. It's angled at my arm so I can actually see where I'm putting my finger. So I don't overlap them and they don't go all funny sizes and everything, and they don't make a mess. So the swatches actually look, so you can actually see the swatches. Next shade is my second favourite shade in this palette. This is called Thingamabob, which is from Little Mermaid. And it's the silver foil, and it's so beautiful. Oh, look at him. He is so nice. I love a good silver. Love a good silver. Silver is not utilised enough in the world. I want to do a silver look. So I probably will add a bit of silver into one of these looks. Next shade is Enchanted Rose, which is the kind of cranberry shade in the corner down here. Obviously this is more of a neutral palette. Like if you were to do like a Disney palette, that would have been red, you know, and say the grumpy shade would have been a burgundy because to go with his outfit. You would have probably done, I don't know, like just some more brighter colours, but obviously they went for neutral because they did come out with the Villains one, which I was very tempted to get. And it kept going on sale and I was like, oh, but I didn't get it. Which had a bit more colour in it. So you could go for that for your colour and have this as your neutral. That is Enchanted Rose right there. It's kind of like MAC's Star Violet eyeshadow. So he's beautiful. Very nice. Next up we've got Poison Apple, which is a bit more purple. It's like a purple magenta, if that makes sense. It's not as foiled as that Enchanted Rose shade. It's a bit more just like a standard shimmer, just like a normal shimmer. Foil just means it's super metallic and it's super creamy going on, where a normal shimmer is still an eye, like a standard eyeshadow. It kind of performs just like your normal powder shadow with a shimmer in it. So yeah, he is lovely as well. I'll probably use him too. What have we got next? Magic Carpet is like a deeper, like aubergine kind of shade. Also shimmer, but way darker. Like way darker. It's just a very nice neutral palette for me. Like it's a neutral palette I'll actually use. Next up we've got Beast, which is probably one of my favourite shades in the palette as well, because it's a brown, but it kind of has a red purple undertone to it. It's not the best for swatching now, I will say that. And it does deepen up quite a bit when you build it up. So it's a lovely darkening shade. If you don't want to use the black, it still goes quite dark for you. So that's him there. And that's one that's matte and it has some shimmer, some sparkles in it. But when you're blending, you don't really notice them too much. It's only if you use the glitter glue and packed it on, then you would notice it. Next up, we have got the black, which is Midnight Curfew from Cinderella, obviously. And that goes on my elbow. This sparkly black, kind of like MAC's Black Tide. Just do a second coat there. And it's not the blackest black in the world. Like my Makeup Geek Corrupt is still my blackest black that I own. But it's up there. It's a good black. It's a nice one for the palette. You know, it's usable for a black in a palette. You know what I mean? Blacks in palettes might not always be the blackest black because you might not always need a blackest black because it is quite a neutral palette. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, those are our swatches. It's a lovely palette. I do really, really like the palette. I'm very happy that I bought it. The packaging on it is stunning. I always look at them. I was like, ooh, who's my favorite dress today? So far, Cinderella has my favorite dress. I like drama. I love the colours in the dress. Yeah. That is our Colourpop Disney designer palette. I'm going to do this look. If you want to see how to get this look, I'm going to do 2 more looks after this one. Look at my dirty fingers. And yeah, stay tuned to see how I get those looks. Alright guys, so we are on to look number 1. This is probably the most neutral out of them because it is quite a neutral look, or neutral palette. Well, I mean, to me that's quite neutral. It's not a massive like big colour story, but it's kind of like my version of my neutral palette that I would kind of go for, and it's Disney themed. I mean, obviously I've got my Mickey Mouse ears just to represent. So I want to use what do I want to use? I want to use a little bit of Fairy Godmother. I think this kind of shimmery pink. I never really use colours like that too often. And I'm going to use mostly the browns is kind of where we're going with this. So yeah, just like a pinky neutral. I might even use a bit of the gold, the lighter gold, the Ray it's called. So yeah, we're going to do a bit of that. And we'll see how we get on. On my face already, I have got my Urban Decay Primer Potion on my eyes. For my brows, I used, where did I put him? My number 7 Beautiful Eyebrow Sculpting Pencil in the shade brown. And I used that. On my face, I already have my foundation on. It's a smidge dark, but I'm kind of reorganizing all my drawers, all my makeup drawers, like every one of them, moving things around the way I want them to be now. And I'm rediscovering all my products. So I'm using my Sleek Be Beautiful Blemish Balm BB cream, basically, with an SPF 15. So I'm using that right now. So I'm just kind of rediscovering stuff I haven't used in ages. So yeah, that's what I have on my face right now. So let's get on to this guy. I'm going to use, I think I might use my Lavender Luxe brushes for this. So what I have said before about this, I think I said it in my least favorite shadows. I actually think I picked like one of these guys that I am going to use today. I don't dislike them, they're just too warm for me for this palette. I would need something cooler, but I'm going to start with the shade Grumpy, which is this soft peach, like soft tan kind of shade. And I'm going to pop this in my crease. Now these are going to come out very warm on me, especially the Triton and Abu. That's what kind of happens with these colours. I'm going to use my little mirror here. I do apologise if it gets in the way. But we're just going to, I kind of have an idea for this, so I'm going to kind of bring it up now from my lashes a little bit. And into the crease. This is a number, what number are you? Number 7 from the Lavender Luxe set from BH Cosmetics. So it should kind of taper as it gets in here a little bit, if you can see that. Next I'm going to take a number 8 brush, which is kind of like fluffy but flat as well, so I have a bit more control over it. And then I'm going to go into the shade Triton there, which is a darker tan. The other one was more peachy. This is more of an actual tan colour. And we're going to repeat. I am going to do my eye at the same time as this. I just kind of forgot to do the first step on that side. It's early morning. It's like 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. And I get tired. So we're kind of just doing the same thing. I'm just not bringing it up as high as I brought the first colour. The first colour is like our warm transition shade. This one is going to just be used to deepen. Okay, so I've got it the same on the other side. And I'm going to go in with a number 6 brush, which is just like a skinny tapered brush. Sorry if I hit my mic there. And I'm going to go into the shade Abu, which is this darker kind of, it's kind of hard to show you on this. There you go. It's like this dark warm brown, like a russety brown. And we're going to take that, and this is going to go in the same shape again, but just again not as high up as we put the previous color. So it's not even going as high up as the Triton shade. Okay, and then before I move on to the lid, I'm going to go and do my lower lash line a little bit. And I still might reblend my lower lash line once I've got my concealer on, but I just want to get some colour onto my lower lash line. So we're going to go back into the Grumpy shade, and we're kind of going to do the same order of the colours, but just more smoky underneath. So what I'm going to do is take that on the same brush, because I do want it to be quite smoked out. I'm just going to run that all along my lower lash line. Yeah, I accidentally did a step with it, you guys. I'm going to do it on the other side before I do that side. I'm going to take Triton again. Oh, no, not the gold. This guy up here, our tan shade. And on the same brush that I use for that as well. And we're just going to pop that along the lower lash line, but just, again, like the top, not down as far. And then you probably guessed that we're going to take a boo there. And I'm going to take that on the same brush that I use for that colour. And we're just going to whack that on, kind of focusing it more to the outer half, so like a bit there, not bringing it as far in as the other shades or as far down. Just make sure you connect it right here. It's very important that you connect, because that'll be what frames your eye. Okay, so now our lower lash line is lovely and smoky, and I'm actually really liking this. Although these colours are kind of similar to my Pocahontas look. But whatever, I mean, I'm working with the palettes. So now I'm going to go in with my, what's this one? This is number 9. It's like a flat little, really, really flat, pointy brush for packing on colour and doing cut creases and stuff like that. Let me just bend this back here. I'm going to use the shade Fairy Godmother, which is the star of the show. And it's just like a pink, what is it? You'll see it in the swatches. It's like a pink with a slight, like, warmer reflex off. It's very hard to describe. I'm just going to put it on like this first, but I might use my finger to pack a bit more on, because it's not super foiled, if that makes sense. So this is going on the actual lid, but I don't mind getting some of the pink in here, but I do want to not try if I can help it, you know what I mean? And then I am going to go in with a little bit on my finger, just to intensify that a bit more. I've grown to like my shimmers to go on super strong, so when they don't, I like to do this. Okay, so that is pretty much the most of the colours done. I am going to use one more shade to highlight my inner corner, but before I do that, I want to do my concealer, so I'm just going to pop on my Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and let me just do little dabbles here. Just pop a little bit on. I will use this on the rest of my face as well, but I'll do that once my eyes are done. Okay, so I've got my under eye concealer on. I'm actually using, I'll just show you this really quickly, the e.l.f. Hydrating Under Eye Primer. Again, found it and never really used it, so I was like, okay, well, let's start using it. And see, it's actually nice. It's quite hydrating. It does make your under eye feel really nice. So let's move on again. I'm gonna go into the shade Ray, which is like this really soft gold. So that's more like a true like golden gold. Makes no sense. But yeah, this is more of a paler gold. Very, very pretty. It's named after Ray, the firefly in Princess and the Frog, who's one of my favorite characters of all time, and he makes me cry in that movie so much, like really badly, like way more than I possibly should, but I do cry a lot in it. So this is actually going as my inner corner highlight, which is not as light as I normally go for my inner corner highlight, but because this look is not too dramatic, or there's not as much going on, I'm going to pop that in, and I'm going to bring that onto the inner corner, onto the pink a little bit there. So that's our colours done on the eyes. I'm going to go off, I'm going to do like my liner, my lashes, all that kind of jazz, my skin, my lip, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what I do to the rest of my face and my eyes. I'll go through all my products, and yeah, that's it for my eyes. I'm back, and I've actually changed my top into something that kind of matches my makeup a little bit. It's just like a pink off the shoulder kind of thing. Pretty. And yeah, I finish off my face. So let's go through everything that I did use on my face. So let's see. Well, where did I finish off? Oh yeah, so for my eyes, I used 2 liners. If I can find the other one, that would be fabulous. So I just did a nude on my waterline because I want to keep it nice and like bright and fresh and kind of springy looking. So I used the MAC Technicolor liner in the shade Risque. It's just a nude, any nude pencil. I do use the Inglot Kohl pencil. I think it's number 5. A lot as well, which I quite like. And then I went in with just a little slick liner, small tiny wing, nothing that you can actually really tell unless you're up close. I use the Kat Von D tattoo liner. Yes, I know there's a lot of controversy about Kat Von D. No, I don't give in to any of it because I couldn't be bothered. I bought all these with my own money and I'm going to use them. So there we go. I'm not going to get into it. I don't do cancel culture. I actually don't like cancel culture. I don't talk about the fact that you're not going to buy from random, the reasons why, because I don't care. That could be something that people don't like that I say, but I buy things with my money. I'm going to use my things that I bought, and that's the way it is. So you will see some Kat Von D things on my channel. I don't believe in the things. I know she left her brand and stuff like that. Just because I bought stuff doesn't mean I believe in everything she believes in, because I'm not. It's not a cult. We're not in a cult here. I just like her products. Simple. Anywho, minus my little rant there. I then went on to my lashes. For my mascara, I use the MAC Bold and Bad Lash. This guy here. So that's that guy. For my lashes, I have them on. Let's see if you can see them at all. No? You see? Does that look really weird? That looks really weird. These are the Ardell 600s. They're basically ones that are like really choppy and long in the middle, and they get smaller on the sides. So there's those ones. They're kind of like the House of Lashes Sirens, or MAC 35 lashes are a bit more of an extreme version than that. And I've gone out of focus now because of that. Thank you. So I then went on to my cheeks. So for my cheeks, I used my ML bronzer. Why can't I find it? There we go. So I used my ML bronzer, the Safari bronzer. This guy here. So just use that as my bronzer contour kind of jam, because I am using quite warm colours. I wanted to warm my skin up a little bit. Then for my blush, I used the Sleek Blush by 3 in the shade Lace, and the shade that I used from it, I'm not even going to try. I don't know what that word says. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. I used that middle shimmery shade there. And then for my highlight, I used my Bobbi Brown highlighting powder in the shade Pink Glow. So it's just like that, and that is my highlight on my cheeks. My lip I kind of struggled with. I didn't know whether I wanted to go for something stronger or something to kind of match the colours. So I just went to match the colours because I thought, it'd keep it nice and fresh. And my other looks are going to be a little bit more dramatic, so I might as well just keep this one nice and fresh. So for my lips, I use the Primark Beauty lip liner in the shade Rumour. This guy here, because it's a little bit pinkier than like Soar lip liner, which is what you would think to use, which some people will probably use, but I want something that has a bit more pink and kind of peach in it. And then for my actual lipstick, I used MAC's Sandy B, which is just a very soft kind of, it kind of has a gold shimmer in it. So it'll be nice and shiny, but I don't have to use a gloss. So yeah, it's like a peach base with a gold shimmer. So that is everything on my face. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this little look, and hopefully I didn't ramble too much, which I know I did, and this video is probably going to be an hour long, as they usually are. But yeah, that is our look, and I am going to move on to look number 2. Alrighty guys, so let's go on to look number 2 for our Colourpop Disney Designer Palette. This guy here with its beautiful packaging. Today, so last look we kind of did like a more neutral, like with some of the browns and the kind of peachy pinks down here. I want to use this row right here. So both of these guys, both kind of purpley shimmers together. And maybe deepen it up with like the black and stuff like that. So we're going to go in with that. I'm just going to go through what I have on my face first, just so you guys know. To start with, I use the Kiko Milano Ocean Feel Fluid Foundation SPF 30. I use that as my foundation. This is the shade 01. Porcelain, I'm assuming, or I don't know. 01 is what it says. Anyway, it's a light shade. It's a really good match, actually. Really nice. On my brows, I just use my number 7 Beautiful Eyebrow Sculpting Pencil. This guy. And then as my eyeshadow primer, I use my Urban Decay Primer Potion on my eyes. So we're all prepped and ready to go. Let's get on with the look. Okay, so for this, I'm going to be using my BH Cosmetics Lavender Luxe brushes. This is number 5. It's like the big fluffy, and we're going to go in with Juju, the kind of lighter pink sort of shade here. And this is just going to go into my crease as my transition shade first. Like you could do warmer if you wanted to, but because of my skin tone, I like this kind of pinky shade, and it keeps the purples purple and not too neutral, if that makes sense. So next we're going to go in, where's my little brush gone? This is a number 7 brush, so it's still a fluffy. This is the first one that we use, so it's just a little bit smaller, just to be a bit more precise. And I'm going to go in with the shade Beast, which is like it could be brown, it could be red, it could be purple, depending on what way you pair it. So we'll see how it looks with this guy. I'm just going to use this to deepen the outer corner. I may not even use the black, I may just keep it with this brown, but it's nice that the black is there to darken. And then I'm going back in with my first brush, just with whatever's left on it with the pink. And just soften where that meets the pink. Okay, I'm happy with how that looks for now. I'm not going to go in straight with the black. I want to put the other colours on. I might even just leave it till the very end and I'll add it then. So we're going to work on a bit of shimmer. So I'm taking the number 9 brush, which is our little flat brush. I may use another flat brush as well, but we're going to start with this anyway. And I'm going to go in with Poison Apple, which is our bright purple shimmer. It annoys me that this is reflected because it throws the colours off completely. That's what it actually looks like in real life. So that is Poison Apple. It's like a bright purple, like a pinky purple. And this is going to go on my inner, say, third of the lid, because we've got the outer corner kind of covered here. So we're leaving the center part open. This is just our little brighter pop of purple. Okay, so we have that on this. Ooh, God, I can't even hold the palette. Next we're going to go in with Magic Carpet, which is this one. Doesn't look super shimmery there, but it actually is nice shimmer, kind of the same texture as this one. Stick with the same brush. I just used my little colour switcher thingy and wiped it off. And I'm going to go in with this, and this is going in the bit that's left, basically. So it's mostly the centre of the lid. And this will give us like a true smoky sort of look. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the lower lash line. I was like, I don't know which way I want to go about this, but I've kind of had a decision in my head. I'm going to start out with the shade Juju again, the kind of baby pink. And this is a smaller brush. This is a number 6. It's still a fluffy brush. It's like a MAC 221. It's that kind of skinny fluffy brush. And we're just taking some of this just because it's a bit more controlled. And I'm just running that, not like super close to my lashes or anything like that. I'm kind of going down further because I want this to be used to blend. Don't worry about like if you get patchiness of the shadow on your concealer, you can reconceal and all that jazz. Okay, and next we're going in with the Lavender Lux number 10 brush from BH Cosmetics. Little stubby small little pencil brush. And I'm going in with the shade Magic Carpet, the one that we use like on the centre of the lid, just to give us something to darken, but it still has a bit of shimmer, so it's a bit interesting as well. And this is going to go all along my lower lashes. Then I'm going back in with my what number is that one? Number 6 brush, and using that to blend out the edge of that. Then I'm not using any of the brushes from the Lavender Lux shade, Lavender Lux set. I'm going in with the MAC 214 brush. It's our little smudgy little brush like this, and it's clean, fabulous. And we're going to go in with Beast. This guy here. Just want to use this into my lashes just to help deepen it a little bit. Okay, so I've done a little bit more concealer. Now I'm just going to pop on my inner corner, and we're going to use one of my favourite shades in the palette. This is Prince Charming, that guy there. And I'm actually just going to clean off this little small stubby brush. Let me just... It's like right beside my mic, so this could be ASMR for you guys if you are into all that. So we're going to take a bit of that shade. So this is like really interesting. It's like a white with a green with a gold kind of duochrome to it. It's not a super strong striking duochrome, but you do see it when it's on that there's a little bit of green in it. Alrighty guys, so that is pretty much the shadow part done. I'm going to go in and we're going to do my liner, my lashes, my skin, like my cheeks and highlight and lip and everything off camera, and like I always do. And I will come back and I will show you everything else that I popped on my face. I'm also gonna have some breakfast. Alright guys, so this is our finished look. I hope you all like it. I'm just gonna go quickly through everything that I put on my face. So obviously the shadows and all were done using the Colourpop Disney Designer palette. Let's see then. I didn't actually use like a normal like black liner. I actually used Urban Decay's 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Tornado, which is like a deep aubergine kind of colour. It's beautiful. I used that on my waterline and my top lash line. I gave it a little bit of a wing as well. Very soft wing because obviously it's pencil, so whatever. Then I popped on my mascara. I used my MDM Flow Greater Than mascara. I'm trying to get through this. It's not my favourite mascara in the world. It's great now when I'm putting lashes on and it just kind of coats my lashes. But I do have to use like lash primer if I want to use it like on its own, just to kind of bulk up my own lashes, because I don't have the best lashes in the world and this is not the best mascara in the world. So we got to make it work together. So I popped that on. Then my lashes are over here for some reason. Well, they're on my face actually. I use the Eyelure Fleur de Force lashes in Fleur and Fabulous. I can't read that. Fleur and Fabulous are those ones. So they're kind of dense but not super long. The band is not super wide either, so you can just kind of put them on the edge of your eye, which is what I did. It's still a full lash, but it's not as wide as my eye is. But I do have quite a wide eye shape anyway. So that's those. Then what did I move on to? My eyes done. My cheeks. So I used kind of bronzer contour stick. This is the Laritzi Cosmetics Aloha bronzer stick. This guy here, but it's actually really nice on my skin. I got that on a glossy box and I love it. And then on my blush, I use the Benefit Bella Bamba. It's just like a very bright pink. I just used it very softly on my cheeks, like that. And then I wanted to do a bit of a duochrome highlighter. Now I use my Anastasia or Anastasia. I say Anastasia, whatever way you want to say it yourself. The Moonchild highlighting palette. Now there is a purple in this, but this look is not like violet purple, which is kind of how the purple horseshoe comes out. This one here is not very purple, it's more silver, which I was going to use as well, but what I did was made my own, and I used the Blue Ice, this one here, which is like a blue duochrome, and Pink Heart, which is a pink duochrome, and pink and blue make purple. So I popped both of those on, and it's a nice kind of soft pinky purpley kind of look. Yeah, I did a bit on my nose as well, just because. Then for my lips, I had to kind of go through a few different lips because I wasn't sure what way I wanted to go about it. I went with the MAC Love You Back lipstick, just like a nude. I was going to go more mauvey, but they kind of started to go a bit red on my lips and I didn't want it to be red. So you're going with a nude but has a slightly more pinky undertone. And then for my gloss on top, I use the shade Mauve It, which is just like a soft mauvey gloss. Not too coloured. It has some colour, but it's not like the most pigmented gloss in the world. But I quite like it. It turns out nice and it's not very sticky, which I like. So yeah, this is our finished second look using the Colourpop Disney Designer palette. Let's move on to the third look and see what happens, because I don't really know what I'm doing for that one yet. I have an idea, but I don't know if it's going to work out. So let's see how it gets on. Okay, so let's get on to look number 3 using our Colourpop Disney Designer palette. For this look, I want to use this Enchanted Rose shade down here. I just think it's quite nice, and I want to use a bit of the gold, probably the silver as well. So that's 3 different shimmers I want to use in one look. So I'm thinking about doing not a full cut crease, but a little bit of a cut crease. Not like a really detailed cut crease, if that makes sense. It's going to be more like I'm going to use a bit of glitter glue, kind of carve it out and go from there. And then we'll use like some of the deeper kind of shades. I want it to be quite smoky and all that kind of stuff. So let's get on with the look. Already on my face, I've got my foundation. I used my Primark My Perfect Colour Velvet Finish Foundation. I think they've renamed it now. I think it's just called their Glow Foundation. It's a medium full coverage, beautiful foundation. Looks amazing, stays on great. It was €6. There you go. I then did my brows and I used again my number 7 beautiful eyebrow sculpting brow pencil in the shade brown on my brows. And for my eyeshadow primer, this is just a sample that I got, but it is the same as what I've been using. It's my Urban Decay Primer Potion. It's just a sample, but yeah, it's what I have been using for this anyway. So let's get on with the look. We are gonna go in with a MAC 217. And I think I'm going to go in to the shade Grumpy, which is this one here, just as my transition shade first. And I'm taking that on my outer corner and bringing it into the crease just to give a bit of warmth, because the two of the shimmers that we're going to use are quite warm and they're like the main shimmers, but the silver's just a little pop that I'm going to add in. Okay, and then next we are going into the shade Beast, which is this kind of plummy brown. Depends on how you wear it really, so it'll depend on what colours you put with it. It can lean more brown, it can lean more plum, it can lean a little bit red sometimes as well. On this look, it's going to go more brown, but with a slightly plum undertone, especially when we put the shimmer on the eye. Oh yeah, I'm taking it on a 221 brush, the skinny little blending brush, and popping that into the creases again, bringing a little bit more onto the lid this time, just so that it will blend when we put the shimmers in, and bringing it right across into the crease, because we want to define the crease so that way when we do cut it a little bit, there's a nice bit of definition between the part that we cut and the lid as well. So I'm actually going to do my lower lash line now before I do my cut crease, because I want that to kind of be the final part of the eye. So we're going to take the shade Beast again. This is on a MAC 214. It's our little smudgy brush like him. And I'm using that closest, oh sorry, I hit my mic. Sorry. We are using that closest to the lashes. So it's going super close to my lashes. Make sure you connect it to the outer corner out here. Connect it to the shadow there. And I'm going to bring that most of the way across. So he's going to go about 2/3 of the way across. We are leaving a little gap in there. I'm going to take my 217 again. I'm taking one little dip of the Grumpy shade, and we're just going to use that to soften out the edge of that lower lash line, just to give it a nice smoky look. Make sure the blend is like the same as it is on top all the way around, so it just looks very cohesive. Okay, so I've said it in the past two looks that I would use a glitter glue with a lot of the shimmers that were in here, and I tend to use a glitter glue nowadays with most of my shimmers. Got it from Beauty Bean. I've said that before already as well. But her looks are always amazing, and I decided to try it, and now I can't go back. So I'm going to use today my NYX glitter glue, which is a cheaper option. I have two glitter glues that I do love. I've got my NYX and my Too Faced glitter insurance. Love both. This is like half the price, so it's up to yourself. I do love this. I'm going to use this, and we're going to use it with the shimmers, and we're going to use it to cut the crease as well. And I'm taking my Lavender Lux set from BH Cosmetics in number 9, which is a super flat, super rounded. And I'm just loading up my brush with that. And we're gonna kind of look at your eye and see where you want the fold to be. And then just start applying that. I always start in the inner corner first and get that shape going. I'm just applying a little bit of pressure. It'll start to kind of scoop off the shadow on the lid, so it gets more of a harsh line. I'm going to start with the Enchanted Rose shade, this guy here, just like a shimmery cranberry kind of colour. Beautiful colour. And I'm going to take a MAC 239, yes, 239, just their flat brush. We're going to load him up, and he is going on the outer half of the rest of the lid, so kind of out here. That is such a nice colour. Like, that's one of my favourite kind of colours. I love that colour. It's so like rustic and yeah, it's just pretty. Now you'll notice the way I'm coming in here is I'm coming in at an angle. You'll see why in a second, but that is necessary for this kind of look that I want to do. I'm going to go in with the shade One Kiss, which is the gold here, and I'm taking another flat brush. Again, just so I've got control of it. You can just clean your brushes off if you want to, but I ain't got time for that, so I'm just going to use all my brushes. So I'm going to take some of that gold. Whoa, come back to me please, thank you. There we go. And we're going to pop that on, again, going in that diagonal angle. Because I want, see where the cut crease is? I want that to be bare for now, because that's where I want to put the silver. So I have to keep space for it. So I'm putting the gold closer to my lash line and blending it in at that angle as well. And then taking my final brush, and this is just a sleek little flat, really small synthetic brush. I got it in an advent calendar. Don't know where else to get it. I just know it's from Sleek. And we're going to take the shade Thingamabob. Cute name. It's the silver. It's one of the most beautiful silvers I own. Taking some of that mostly on the tip of the brush because I want it to be preciser. More precise. That was really bad English, sorry. I do apologise. I'm actually using a little mirror right now just so I can see really closely what I'm doing. So right up against that cut crease. Again, I don't need it to necessarily be super, super harsh where the cut crease is. Just right up against it. Okay, I am going to add a little bit of that black just because I want to show it off a little bit. So this is the Midnight Curfew. It's one of those that has a matte base, but it's sparkle in it. So the sparkle kind of fades off. But I'm just taking the smallest little dabble of it and just in that outer corner there. Okay, I'm going to go off camera for 1 second and I'm going to, well, yeah, obviously, I'm not going to go off camera and leave you with a black screen for ages. I'm just going to tidy up my under eye, get rid of the fallout and do my under eye concealer. I'll come back, finish off the eye, and then I will go off and do the rest of my face. So, see you in a sec. Okay, I'm back real quick. I've concealed under my eyes, tidied up any fallout, all that kind of jazz. Now, I'm going to finish off the look and we're going to go back into Prince Charming, which we used in the last look. And I'm using that as my inner corner highlight. And we're just going to pop that in here. Mostly on the top. And I'm taking that same brush, because I just cleaned off that little brush. And I'm going to go in with the Thingamabob again. And that little gap that we left before, I'm going to pop some of that there. Just to tie it all in. Okay, so as far as I can see, I am pretty much done with the shadows on my eyes. I am going to go off camera. I'm going to do my liner, my lashes. I have to pick out lashes. I don't know whether to do black or brown liner. I don't know what cheek I want to do. And I don't know what lip I want to do. So I have to figure all that out. So yeah, I'm going to go off and do that. I'll be back in a second. Alrighty guys, so that is your finished look. This is everything that I did on my face. So let's go through all the details that I put on. So we'll finish off the eyes. So for the eyes, I use my Kat Von D tattoo liner. That on my eyes as my wing. I used, where did he go? Because I keep losing him. My very, very, very small Urban Decay liner in the shade Demolition. By the way, there's a storm in Ireland right now. So that's what I have to deal with. And I also have to go out in it because I have to go to work because apparently, you know, I still have to work. So I used the shade Demolition from the Urban Decay liners just in my waterline. I was debating black or brown, so that's kind of like a cool toned, super, super dark brown. So I thought that'd be quite nice with these colours. My mascara it's a couple of things. So on my lower lashes, I use the small wand from my Bold and Bad lash from MAC because the bottom part is actually empty. So I'm using this little wand for my lower lashes. And then for my upper lashes, I popped on some of my MAC False Lash Maximizer, which is a lash primer. And then I used my MDM Flow Greater Than mascara on my top lashes as well, because it's not my favourite mascara in the world, but the primer helps. So that's that. And then my lashes, I used my House of Lashes Temptress Wispy. I was between the Temptress Wispy and the Smoky Muse, but I thought Smoky Muse might take away the whole look of all the colours on the lid, so I was like, we'll do these ones because they're a bit softer. And obviously on my eyes, I've got my palette. For my cheeks, I have got on my Dallas bronzer from Benefit. And my blush is gone somewhere. Where'd it go? My MAC Mineralized blush in Hey Coral Hey, which is just like a nice bright corally kind of colour. It's beautiful. I have no highlighter on. Oh my god. And I did take one out. So I'm actually going to use this guy. We'll do it now. I'm going to use this guy here. This is my Revolution Beauty. This is Creatures of the Night. It's one of their Halloween ones that they came out with. Just a liquid highlighter, but it's a beautiful, beautiful colour. You need like a drop for both sides, so you don't need a lot at all. I'm just giving my finger. There we go. There she is. She's better now. I look much better. So that's my cheeks on. And then for my lip, I kind of had a hard time with that as well, but I thought we'll go a little bit deeper because all the other ones were quite nude. Let me get it. So I use my MAC Plum lip liner and also my MAC Lip Tensity lipstick in the shade Toast and Butter. And we got this nice kind of mocha, darker mocha brown lip. So that's it. This is the finished look. I hope you all enjoyed. This is our 3 looks, 1 palette using our Disney designer palette. It's beautiful. It's my kind of neutral palette. I do love this palette. It's a very handy palette to have. Don't know if they still stock it anymore, but I just wanted to have this done. So if you do own this palette yourself, you have something and some ideas to go for this. And just to show off what the quality was like, because I do have it a while and I love it. So yeah, this is the look. I hope you all enjoy. Hope you get some inspiration from it. If you did like this look, give me a big thumbs up down below. Now my thumbs look so weird. Hit subscribe down below to see more of my 3 looks 1 palettes. I have a lot planned coming up. Any palettes I have that I feel like are interesting enough, I will be doing a 3 palettes 1 look or 2 palettes 1 look or whatever. And I also have a playlist with others in it, so I'll leave that link down below, or this will be part of the playlist, so you probably already know about it. And also give me a comment down below, what was your favourite look of my 3 looks that I did with this palette? What was my favourite look? What one would you wear yourself? So yeah, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye!